It was on a second ago. I'm serious. That's going to light up red in a minute. It seems to be very... Yeah, there it is. It's back. The electrical's in and out on that. All right, we got a real late one here, 11:25 on Thursday, and I've been working on the 540 since about 3 o'clock. I started my day at 7 something and got all the business-related stuff done, or close to done, not quite done. We're never close to done, but under control. And I worked on my little project on this car for the afternoon. So that started with adding the Sirius XM antenna, which of course starts at the module in the trunk and then works its way up through the cabin and goes on top of the rear parcel shelf. I'm not sticking stuff on paint. It works fine through the glass, even though they tell you that it won't. So that means taking out the parcel shelf. Well, how do you do that? Well, you start with the C-pillar lights and then the C-pillars and the headrests and the hardware on top of the shelf. And then because this is DSP and sunshades, you've got to take the DSP box down, carpet box and speaker box down to get to the nuts that hold the sunshade in. And then you've got to remove the rear seat backrest cushion and bottom rest cushion and the little headrest restraint in the middle. And then the parcel shelf comes out. Real clean under there since I refinished that or recovered that shelf, what, about 2 years ago now. This guy is curbing his Kia Sedona. And I'm thinking to myself, while I'm doing the Sirius retrofit and antenna, now's the time to do the BAV sound speakers. I really don't want to pull that parcel shelf again. So BAV sound speakers installed for the rear mid bass. They replace 8 of the 12 speakers in the car. The only ones that stay are the DSP subwoofer speakers. Those are the same. And then in the front doors, these next to the vent stay. The tweeters up here are probably the biggest upgrade. I can immediately hear the difference. Everything sounds much crisper and tighter. I'm comparing it against 22-year-old DSP speakers on a car with 131,000 miles nearly, but definitely an improvement. And just like the M5, I'm not doing this upgrade for the BAV sound speakers for a massive improvement in audio quality. No, I'm doing it to kind of bulletproof the speakers for a while. They're Kevlar cones. The DSP speakers are paper. They're pretty grubby. They're old. They're real dry. So these will last a lot longer, and they're plug and play. They fit in the original pods, the original housings here behind the doors, things like that. So in addition to all the BAV sound speakers and the Sirius antenna, which is run beautifully, I actually did that a little better than the M5 because I have a lot more knowledge about these cars now. On the M5, I brought it down here kind of where your left hip would be if you were in the rear driver's seat, and then went up the C-pillar and to my installation location. Here I found a second punch through the rear bulkhead, kind of under the speaker, under the sound insulation. It's a shorter, neater run of wire. So that's done and ready for the last thing I need in the audio system, which is just attaching the Sirius module to the radio via analog 6-pin audio. And I have some adapters coming tomorrow to facilitate that. So I'll need to pull the armrest and the center console, maybe the tray, climate, and SCM, and then make a connection between the eject box and the CD53. And then in the trunk, we're gonna go between the 54-pin connector and the Sirius module, activate the radio. Bob's your uncle will be in business. Anyways, in addition to all of that, the driver's door came much more apart than the rest of them. I pulled the vapor barrier out, replaced the window regulator, replaced the door brake, a little hinge thing, the actual latch assembly that latches the door, and then the striker on the B-pillar. So all of that stuff is new. Pretty much anything and everything you'd ever need to replace inside the door is new. My window is smooth and quiet and covered in fingerprints. I haven't had time to clean it. And it goes pretty much all the way down. Some of the aftermarket regulators don't. This is a Continental. Nice and smooth and quiet, no noise. Before, right about 2 inches from the top, I'd get a big pop as one of the cables pops out of the channel or whatever was going on with that. It's an original regulator. It was time to get that replaced. So that's new. Door brake was just cracked up and old. It wasn't clicking or making noise yet, but vapor barrier's off, let's get it done. And then the latch, I had noticed over certain bumps as the chassis moves around a little bit, I was getting a little bit of a groan noise in this driver's door, which I dealt with on the M5 for probably 3 or 4 years before I finally decided to figure out what it was. And it was the latch and the striker were just worn and allowing for some play. So that's new on this car now, and hopefully I'll never have to do that again. I'm gonna stop talking, pay for and pick up my dinner here, get home, wolf it down, and get to bed. My back's killing me. That was a long day. I will talk to you guys on Friday. Good night.